Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to discuss about why you should care about one of my favorite classic animes, Saint Seiya, originally made in 1986. This classic anime comes with guts, in depth, and trust me when I say classic animes are where it's all at. And I feel bad for anyone who didn't get a chance to grow up with watching Saint Seiya. It first starts off smashing. You're in the middle of a tournament. Mixed martial arts crossed with WWE style. It's known as the Galactic War. My main man Seiya is fighting to achieve this sacred armor that's originated in Greece. Turns out when Seiya was a younger boy, he was an orphan and him and his sister were separated. Seiya was promised that if he went to go retrieve the cloth of Pegasus, he would be reunited with his sister. Little did he know, the person whom he had promised to retrieve his sister had ended up dying, and now he wants his promise to be kept with his granddaughter. Seiya had been given an ultimatum where if he wants to reunite with his sister, he needs to enter into the Galactic War and win and become the #1 hero.
Disappeared? I've got to find her.
Winning will allow him to use all the resources to find the location of his sister. Why I care about this series is because it's filled with layers that will get to the point for character development. You don't even want to miss a single episode, including the fillers, which makes you want to see everything about the anime because it has a nice build in suspense and relief. Every contestant has their own reason to why they have their own motive and the reason on why they're trying to win this tournament. Turns out the reward for winning this tournament is a gold cloth. Just like any anime, tournaments always are hype because you get to see everyone demonstrate their abilities that they've harnessed. Over the 6 years of training, as the tournament continues, we're getting closer to the final contestants to fight for the gold cloth. And boom! A new challenger has arrived and interfered with the tournament. Turns out he's Shun's older brother, though everyone thought he had died, since no one's heard any news about him for years. Iki ends up stealing the gold cloth, and the Bronze Saints put their prides aside to help Princess Sayori retrieve the cloth back. The Saints begin to chase after Iki, and you know in anime it's not going to be that easy. They have to give us some backstory on why a guy who was the older brother, known as the big brother, turned out to be more of a rat and switched up on all of his homies. So that's when our first introduction to Black Saints, who surprisingly have the same similarities as our Bronze Saints. The series continues to amaze me, especially by my main man Seiya, for his bond towards his sister is very deep. For everything he does and every battle he endures or succeeds in is a step closer to reuniting with his sister. The series continues to unravel more, showing how it has layers because they discover that the granddaughter is a reincarnation of the goddess Athena. The attacks have been going on, and the reason why the tournament was interrupted is due to the sanctuary, for the Pope is corrupted and is breaking all the rules. This series really lets you feel the stakes for now. They are being targeted by Silver Saints, a class above the Bronze Saints, who've come to assassinate them. When our heroes have their backs against the wall, they don't give up. They find their way through it, with their willpower allowing them to gain new powers. Saint Seiya shows a representation of friendship like never before. What they're willing to do for one another and forgive each other for previous wrongdoings is astonishing to me. This show is fairly known for its intensity with graphic, gruesome content. When the series was brought over to America, it needed to be re-edited for its graphic nature. But personally to me, I feel like this is where its authenticity lies, for it truly had more depth than your average anime. Like my boy Seiya especially never gets a break. Like, how are you telling me that this guy has literally devoted the last 6 years of his life training to reunite with his sister, then finds out his sister was near him all along, training with him in disguise, though she lost her memories, so she doesn't even know that they're even related. But once he finds out all the
Seiya,
pieces and the
where
truth
are
of
you?
his sister, things like this happen to my boy.
Hang on, Marin. Out of my way. My sister's gonna die.
Sorry, little saint, but we're going to have to take care of some business before you can save your sister. It's not going to be easy either. Remember, I can read your thoughts.
Like, what are the chances that this guy already defeated 2 opponents prior? My boy Seiya loses the fight and continues to get even worse from here on out. For we're getting introduced to the Golden Saints, who have been ordered by the Pope to go after the Bronze Saints, though instead the group chose to bring the fight towards the Pope. But of course it's never going to be easy, for when they arrived in Greece and marched their way to go confront Pope Ares, Sayori was
Oh my God,
unfortunately
Sayori's
delivered a
hit!
deadly blow. A gold arrow to her heart, and now the boys need to travel through the 12 houses of the Gold Saints, for they only have 12 hours to remove the arrow from her chest. This series truly finds a way to keep you always attached to the show by finding a way to always elevate the stakes. The characters are truly forever developing and changing in ways where you can truly see that they've grown in character from where they originally started off, and you may have not initially enjoyed the character and now you're finding a newfound grown attachment to them. It's truly a shame that the series didn't blow up in America, for they chose to air it 20 years after its initial release date in Japan. Though even though it wasn't successful here, it still had its own success in Japan. And with that being said, Netflix tried to make an attempt to bring the series back to American eyes, and I truly feel like it doesn't serve the show any justice for the hard work and thought that was put into the series. If you don't believe me, check out the original classic yourself, made in 1986. If you need help to find it online, you can give me a shout or leave a comment and I can provide you with a link. Thanks again for hearing me out and supporting my channel. More content on the way soon, and remember that like button.